guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm going to be giving you my October wrap up. So in the month of October I managed to get through 8 whole books. I know I only said 7, but I don't have warm bodies with me. It's at Waverley's, so I've put a little post-it in where it's supposed to be to remember to mention it. But I have managed to read 8 books this month, which I am stoked about because that's amazing. And we're going to get through all of my thoughts. So we are going to start this wrap up with a little bit of a downer. So the first book that I read in October was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. This was a DNF. The writing was beautiful. The characters were really well developed. I wanted to like this so much, but the truth is, I just didn't. Although the writing was great, the reason why I didn't like this all that much was due to the fact that Stieg Larsson went on so many tangents, it was unreal. So I did end up DNFing this. It's too big of a book to be doing that, and I feel like if that was all cut out by an actual editor, this would be half the size. The next book that I managed to finish in the month of October is Warm Bodies. You'll be pleased to know that this wasn't a DNF. In fact, I actually kind of enjoyed this. I give this a 3 stars, and it basically follows R, who is kind of a self-aware zombie. He's quite intelligent, he knows what's going on around him, and he even like gets married and has conversations with people. It's kind of dope, it's amazing. I loved the movie, hence why I picked up the book. Basically, R goes hunting one day with his group of zombies that he goes hunting with, as per usual, but he meets Julie. And Julie is unlike any human or zombie he's ever met before, and he has this feeling about her. He can't put his finger on it, but he has this feeling about her, and he just wants to protect her so much. He ends up killing someone quite dear to her. And basically he learns about Julie and starts falling in love with her based on her loved one's memories of her because he's eaten his brains. It's really, really cute in that respect. But things started to go a bit downhill and weird for me when it kind of hit me that Julie was sleeping with a corpse and kissing a corpse. And I was just like, I couldn't get over it. I really couldn't get over it. The necrophilia aspect was just too much for me. But it was really well done. I really loved R's character, and I would probably read this again. The next book I managed to get read in the month of October was Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne. I do have a full spoiler-free review of this up on my channel, which I will link below. So I'm not going to say much thoughts on this, but I'm going to tell you what it's about and briefly. If you want to go know full thoughts, then it will be linked below. So this is basically all about Evie, who wants to be normal. She has been diagnosed with OCD and general anxiety disorder, and she basically is out of treatment from a relapse, and she's taking fluoxetine and wants to be a normal human being, a normal teenager. So she goes back to school, she's in search of love and a boyfriend and wants to go to loads of parties, but is she pushing herself too far? Is she going to end up in relapse again? This is basically all about Evie's perseverance and journey with OCD and anxiety, and the rep in this for anxiety is great. I can't speak for OCD because I don't have OCD, but I've heard that it's pretty good as well, and if she's got anxiety spot on, then she probably has done her research with OCD as well. Holly Bourne is one of my favourite authors. She's one of the people who got me back into reading when I wasn't a really big reader at all. She's one of the people that actually got me back into reading, and I love her books so much. However, I can feel that they're coming formulaic. I can feel like they're coming to a point where I know what's going to happen. There's going to be a white woman, cis, straight, who's going to be in love with another cis, white, straight male, and he's going to be an asshole, and she's eventually going to realise that she doesn't need him and she's okay on her own. That's what I'm getting from Holly Bourne's books. It's becoming a very big pattern, and I'm not sure it's because she is guaranteed success in that pattern because people like it. And don't get me wrong, I do like it, but I can kind of predict the whole plot of these, and it's getting a bit annoying. Can I say that? Annoying. I love her so much, and I wish she would have something different. Overall, this was good. I gave it in between a 3.5 and a 4. I think I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5 on Goodreads because Oh my god, it was a lot. The next book that I managed to get read was Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I do have a video vlog up on my channel of me reading this for the first time, as I've started a whole series of reading books. The people are shocked that I haven't read for the first time, so I'll leave that reading vlog down below so you can see my thoughts on Twilight. But this is basically about if you're living under a rock. Bella, who meets the Cullens, and more specifically Edward Cullen. They're mysterious, they're hotties, no one really knows them. Bella, of course, is a cat in this situation, or more so a lamb. Get it? She is kind of the curious cat in this situation, and she pries and eventually gets into their circle. But it's kind of just the first book in her journey and the Cullens' journey and how she's gonna worm her way in. I liked this more than I thought. Spoiler alert if you're gonna watch the vlog. I did like this a lot more than I thought I would. I am pretty sure I gave it a 4 stars, maybe even a bit lower. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But I liked this better than I thought I would, although it was very slow and just kind of like nothing really happened until about 200 pages in for me. But I think I justified that in my mind because this is the first installment of a book series, and of course it's going to be a little bit slow. You've got to have the character development and world building before you get into any of the action. And I actually might go through all of the books and read them as like a whole reading blank for the first time. This is Twilight, next it could be New Moon, who even knows. So if you did know, or if you did guess from my 30-minute long vlog on Friday, Saturday, at the weekend, I participated in the Witchathon, which is a week-long readathon hosted by Crescent Moon Reads, and I managed to read 4 books out of the 5 on my TBR for that. I'll leave the vlog and my TBR down below so you can go and have a gander. So the first book that I read in the Witchathon, and the next book that I read in October, was George by Alex Gino. This was absolutely adorable. Oh my god, it did make me feel warm and fuzzy. This is basically about a trans girl called Melissa who really wants to be Melissa all the time. It is a middle grade, so it does deal with the subject matter very well and very carefully, and so that children can understand. But I really do think if you have never heard of trans before, I really doubt it. If you're wanting to know a bit more, or even just the basics of it, this middle grade really covers all of that, because Melissa is George. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. She doesn't think she's ever gonna come out and be her true self until there's an announcement of a play called Charlotte's Web, and she instantly falls in love with Charlotte. She cries, she's amazed at Charlotte's story, and she really wants to play her. This is basically the story of Melissa and her friend trying to get her into the play, making people realise that not all gender is what you see, and gender and sex aren't the same thing. I really liked this, although getting to the George thing, I don't feel like it was a good move to have the character's dead name technically as the whole title of the book. I'm going to formally here give it a 3.5 stars. If my feelings change, I will let you know. The next book is unfortunately another DNF, and that is Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. So before I get into my thoughts about why I DNF'd this is basically about Maud, who has dementia. She has a memory loss issue and she just doesn't remember anything. Time, past and present, is blending together, and she keeps seeing and hearing things that aren't actually happening and are actually memories from her past. The only thing she can really remember from her present is just remember her daughter and her granddaughter, and her friend Elizabeth is missing, and she really needs to find her. So this story runs as parallel from past and present. It's a very time-related story. It comes with Elizabeth is Missing storyline, with Maud forgetting and the whole present side of things. And then it jumps and flashes back to when Maud lost her sister Suki and how she went missing and stuff like that. I found that really interesting and was really invested, but unfortunately I DNF'd at page 214 because I was just so sick of this. So Maud does have dementia, and I know that it's not statistically her fault, and I'm not saying that if you have memory loss issues, I'm so mad at you, but I was just getting so frustrated with her, and I know that's the point, and that's the sign of good rep of dementia and memory loss issues and disorders and diseases and stuff like that. I just couldn't. I actually went onto a spoiler review on Goodreads and spoiled myself for the ending of this, and I predicted it. I predicted everything of this, so I would have been just as disappointed if I had finished it. It was a bit repetitive, and I ended up not liking it as much as I wanted, and in fact DNF'd. I just ran out of phone storage and I had to delete loads of stuff, so I can't remember where I got to, but I'm going to be moving on to my next read anyway, and that was The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. So this is basically about a town called Sparrow where 2 centuries ago 3 sisters drowned because people in the town thought that they were witches, and every single summer since they died they came back and they kind of took over the bodies of 3 girls in the town in Sparrow, and they started killing boys every single summer. They led them to their demise into the water and drowned them. So every single summer 3 boys die and no one can really figure out how to stop them. It's been happening for 2 centuries and Penny is really scared. And then she meets a boy called Bo who wants to help her on her lighthouse and help her kind of man the lighthouse, Sparrow's lighthouse. And so she takes them on, and basically it's all about them two and a few others trying to stop the witches from obviously killing 3 boys, and how the town has unfortunately had enough. This was amazing. I think I gave it a 4 stars. My laptop has just died. Everything is just going a bit wrong in this recording. But I think I gave this a 4 stars because, oh my god, it was amazing. The only thing I'd probably say is the fact that the ending was so bow-knit tied, and I was kind of hoping for a sequel, but it was so kind of like tied together. Everything was like, this is the ending, we've got a happy ending now, and I don't think that is how it should have ended, but that's just my opinion. The Wicked Deep, it was amazing. The last book, very quickly, that I read in October, and the last book that I read in the Witchathon, was Death on the Seaside by Alison Moore. I loved this a bit more than I anticipated actually as well. So Bonnie Falls has just moved out of her parents' home and she's looking for a landlady and somewhere to stay basically. And she is a writer, and Sylvia very quickly picks up on this. So she's just kind of like, hey, do you want me to help you finish your book? And she starts editing the book for her and she says, this is way too unrealistic. We need to actually go to the seaside so you can write a more realistic portrayal of the seaside, because these things are wrong and these things are wrong. Let me fix them. So Sylvia and Bonnie go off to the seaside together and they encounter some mysterious behaviour of the seaside. I absolutely loved this more than I thought I would. The references, oh my god, I got the references so much. I loved that so much. And there was just so much that I got from this. I went in with the right cultural capital, but I can totally understand why some people didn't like this because they didn't understand the references and this didn't do much for them. But for me, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So these are the 8 books, I can't fit them in the frame, but these are the 8 books that I managed to get read in the month of October. This was kind of rushed at the end because I'm running out of storage like desperately. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this very rushed October wrap up a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these and your thoughts. All of my Goodreads and references that I've made in this video will be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye!
You've got a face for a smile, you know. A shame you're wasted when you're breaking me slowly. But I've got a world of chances.